Okay, so we have two more examples. These are a little bit more challenging, so I would like for you to go ahead and write these problems down as you see it. Okay, I have a negative, parentheses, negative 6n minus 6, parentheses, minus 11, parentheses, 6 minus 2n, parentheses, equals 5n plus 8n. That's number 5. Number 6 is negative 3x plus 3 plus 2 equals negative 6, parentheses, 3 plus 2x, parentheses, plus 5 times 4x minus 2. Okay, so these are our two problems. I'd like for you to write both of these down, and I want you to try them on your own. Before you watch this video all the way through, I would like for you to have at least an answer for x and n for number 5, x for number 6. So go ahead and pause the video and try this on your own. All right, hopefully you tried this on your own. So let's go ahead and get started with number 5. The first thing I'm gonna do is, again, draw my river. I'm gonna draw it all the way down because this looks like a very long problem. So let's go ahead and just work it out. Remember our first step is to always, hopefully you're saying, distribute. So we should go ahead and get rid of these parentheses. So I have to distribute. Remember right here, there's an imaginary 1. So let's go ahead and do this out. Negative times negative is going to give me a positive. 1 times 6 is going to give me 6n. And again, negative times a negative, so remember to distribute. Negative times a negative gives me a positive. 1 times 6 gives me 6. And now we're just going to bring this over. We have to do the distribute one more time. We have another parentheses. This whole thing right here, this negative 11, has to be distributed through. So let's go ahead and do the signs first. Negative times a positive is going to give me a negative. 11 times 6 is going to give me 66. Again, a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. 11 times 2 is going to give me 22n. And then we just go ahead and write the rest of this down. So we distributed on the left. Can we distribute on the right? No. All right, so our next step, our step number 2. So step number 1, this was step number 1. Now we're on step number 2. We want to combine our like terms. So combining like terms. Let's go ahead and start with the left. This is my variable side. This is my constant side. Okay. So let's go ahead and box what we know. So I have 6n and I have my 22n. So these are variables, so I box them. And then the 6, positive 6. Remember, I'm getting the sign in there, circling those constants. And then now I'm going to look what I did to the left, I do to the right. So I need to box this variable, 5n, and then I need to box this other variable, 8n. So let's go ahead and start combining like terms. I have 2 boxes over here, so I need to combine these two. 6 plus 22 is going to give me 28n. Okay. Now I've gotten those boxes combined. Now I need to combine my circles. 6 minus negative 66. So 6 minus 66. So I'm giving positives to a negative number. Okay. So this is the same thing as saying plus a negative. So if I'm adding positive 6 to negative 66, I'm going to get negative, because remember the bigger number is negative, 60. Okay, because I'm adding 6 positives to 66 negatives. So I've combined like terms here. Remember, these are still equal. 5n plus 8n, these are 2 boxes, these are variables. So what can I do with these? I need to go ahead and combine them. 5n plus 8n is going to give me 13n. So these combined, this combined to give me 28, and then these two combined to give me that. Okay, so we have combined all of our like terms. That was step number 2. Remember step number 3. We want to move our variables utilizing inverse operations. So I'm going to go ahead and write this down. 13n and then 28n minus 60. So we have it. Clear? I want to move my constants from the left to the right. So remember what I do. I have to utilize inverse operations. Moving this, I have to add 60, add 60. What I do one side, do to the other. See how we did that? And then now I've got 28n is equal to 13n plus 60. Okay. Now, I have to utilize the inverse operation again because I gotta move my variables from the constant side. So from the right to the left, I need to move variables to the left. I have a positive 13n, so I need to subtract 13n. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So we gotta do the math here. I know that the n is gonna come down. 8 minus 3 gives me 5. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So I have 15n is equal to 60. Now, we're on step number 5 now. Okay. Step number 5. I'm sorry, step number 4, excuse me. Step number 4. Where we want to divorce divide, so divide by 15, divide by 15. And now my fifth step is to give me what n equals. N equals 60 divided by 15 gives me 4. So n equals 4. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get